Greetings, student support team. This is Mike, and alongside Jennifer, we are the counselors. We first would like to thank you for going over the Fantic applications with everyone. There are a few things, though, we want to point out that are really tricky and easy to skip. So, let's jump right to it. Alright, first thing is to just let students know to hang out while you are reading through the Fantic applications. I've worked in financial aid before, so I know what it's like when a student wants to drop something off and fly out the door like they have to go put out a fire. Only if they're putting out a fire should they fly out the door. If not, please have them eat a snack, read a book, catch a Pokemon on their phone as you review this for a few minutes. A few minutes of time can save them an hour or more of traveling or going back and forth on the phone or emails. Yeah, it's frustrating when they really want to fly out the door. So, of course, make sure every single item is answered, every single question. And in the Memorandum of Understanding, please be sure that the applicant signs here and dates here. Alright, now for the trickiest half of this whole process, the domicile determination form. Unfortunately, we're not able to change this. This is how it is, so we've got to work with it. Alright, if a student claimed his or herself, they must select one of these. If somebody else claimed them on their taxes, they must select one of these. Section A must always be completed no matter what. Section B would also be completed if somebody claimed them. Here's the first question that is a little tricky. Answer everything if you are in the military. For number 3. Number 4, same thing. Every single thing. If somebody is not in the armed forces, or if the answer is no, they just select no and they can move on. And here as well. Alright, that being said, what happens a lot is people will select no for question 5 and 6 and move on. However, here is the big thing here. Everyone should answer both parts of 5 and both parts of 6. If the answer is yes, then of course they should fill out everything for 5 and everything for 6. Alright, the next question that is pretty fun is number 10. At the bottom here it says, if the answer is no to being registered to vote in Virginia, has the applicant been registered to vote in another state? If the answer is yes, please select yes, and then the state. If the answer is no, please answer it. So in other words, just please make sure they answer this. Even if they are a permanent resident and we know what the answer is, we still want them to tell us no. And of course, sign and date here, and whoever claimed the student, sign and date here. Please be sure that everything is readable in Perceptive Client. Perceptive Client, sometimes when it scans in, it just looks kind of bad, especially if the student used a light pen or a pencil. Sometimes you can't see anything at all in where they selected it. Alright. Of course, the checklist, and we thank you for going through that diligently. One little note, one thing that's a little different now, is we don't want to collect W-2s anymore. It's a long story, but W-2s don't quite always give us the accurate information we need. So we always want a tax return transcript. So not a tax return and not a tax account transcript. So let's go over that briefly. Tax account transcript gets a big frowny face. You'll see the words account transcript. Usually it's just 1 page or 2 pages. It doesn't have what we need. Here's the happy face. The happy face is on the tax return transcript. So all 3 words, tax return and transcript. This will show an exemption number and an adjusted gross income. Usually it's more than 1 page, but it could be 1 page if they have a very simple tax return. Alright. That is it for now. Please be sure everything, of course, is scanned in, and we appreciate all the hard work.